What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Blue Line Patriot. So today we're going to be unboxing an FAL, a metric FAL nonetheless. And this FAL is from DS Arms. I think they call it a DSA58. Not sure. I forget. Let's see. It might say it. But unboxing. So this is what you get when you order a DSA FAL. Obviously, the FAL comes in the box. We're going to talk about that more in depth in a minute. Comes with this sling here. This sling is nylon. It's got this gray part here is very like grippy. I've never seen that on a sling before. Grippiness. When I turn it like this to show you guys the thickness, it's very thin. It's basically like decent quality luggage. It's like one of their strap from that, because it's got this grippy shit all through it. And there's no hooks at the end of them. You just thread them in. It's the same thing on both sides. You just thread it in, loop it through here, and cool. And that's cool because, you know, it's going to be quieter. It's not going to clink so much. So that's a good seller. It's just I'm very unused to this kind of sling. It's stitched well. I mean, let's see if I can show you this. The stitches, they're a little, I guess that's kind of okay. But yeah, the stitches are actually pretty decent, I will say that. It's like okay quality luggage strap. That's what that is. Let's see. Okay, manual. The only reason that I'm digging into this is because I want to see if there's a sticker in here. Because stickers are excellent marketing and they're cheap. Especially if you're selling big ticket items like $1,800 rifles or more. All right, let's see. Let's do this. Stickers. It doesn't look like there's any stickers in here. Gives you a cool little schematic though. It's nice. Yeah, no stickers. DSA, do stickers. Do stickers. It's like free marketing, anyhow, or like $1 per view marketing, which isn't bad, right? Okay, so magazine comes with a mag. I see a lot of mixed reviews about these. Plastic, yeah, it's plastic. Ugh. All right, so I know there's a shortage right now of steel magazines for FALs, and I know this because I couldn't find them anywhere on the internet. Brownells. Keep shooting, Amazon, Google searches, you know, whatever, man. I know that there's other places that I'm, you know, not thinking of at the moment, but like Midway USA, nothing. But the one place that you can find steel mags right now for about $80 a fucking mag for a 20 rounder is Gunbroker. When all else fails, Gunbroker. So I guess there is some law in, I think it's Washington, it might be somewhere else, but basically you cannot sell magazines at a certain capacity after a certain date. So a lot of people right now from whatever state that is, and I apologize because I don't remember, are selling FAL mags, steel ones, because after a such and such date they can't do it legally. So the ones that were on the fence about it or just heard about it or have a whole bunch of them, whatever, they're selling these. So that's how I got lucky there. So I was able to pick up about 6 of these, and it's been quite an adventure. One day maybe I'll tell you about my Gunbroker adventure, but if you prepared to drop like $80, that $80 is going to turn into like $150 because of shipping and a bunch of weird stupid fees. So just have that in mind before you get on there and start bidding for these, because you might, you know, when I make a bid, let me tell you the story real quick about this particular fucking mag. So I find these, they're nowhere to be found, and I mean nowhere to be found, guys, on regular internet search. I finally get onto gunbroker.com and I find 2 of these. Well, 1, but 2, right? There was basically a guy had a box of them. He just put 1 up, but I was like, yeah, I want 2, and I'll go 40. Well, I lost the bid at 40. I go 50. I lost the bid at 50. I'm like, all right, we'll try $60 per magazine. which still doesn't seem too bad, but it's still kind of shitty. I lost that bid. Ah, fuck. I go to 70. Ah, fuck. Lose that again. And I'm like, okay, I'm not dropping any more than 80 bucks per mag. And that's where it all went downhill. So I bid $80 for a mag, for a magazine. So 160 bucks for 2 of them, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm prepared to pay that. Then all of a sudden, dude hits me up. He's like, oh, hey, you won the bid. You know, you wanted 2. I could ship 2. It's gonna be like $211. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, first off, let's back up a little bit. That's more than $100 per magazine. And not just that it was a little bit more than $100 per magazine. It was that I already maxed myself out on the original fucking bid. I am not going to spend 1 penny more than $80 per magazine, which would have been like $160. And then all of a sudden, it's like $215 basically after it's all said and done. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I emailed the dude and I was like, hey man, I just got the total for that. It's way more than I thought it was going to be. Can you just do me a favor and cancel the order? I said, no bad blood, you know, it's all good. It's just I can't afford that. And then he hits me back with this whole bullshit about how when I make a bid and I win the bid, then Gunbroker bills them for everything and sends them a shipping label. And then, you know, so if I back out, and there's this rating system, because you have to pay them with check or money order. So basically, it's pretty easy to get scammed on there if you're not careful. But anyway, there's a rating system. You can rate somebody like A++ or A or whatever. And so anyway, he's like, you can't back out of this because I have to go through 2 months of whatever and you're costing me money and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm not paying $100 per fucking magazine. That's ridiculous. Like, I'm going to go bid somewhere else. He's like, well, then because of this rating system, kind of like how Uber works, you can rate your driver, you can rate your passenger. And so I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, I'm going to give you a bad rating if you back out on me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, I literally just made my whole reputation isn't centered around my Gunbroker rating. I literally just made this account like 3 days ago to try and find some fucking magazines on here. Anyway, so I'm like, so we go back and forth a little bit. He's being all pissy. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not sending my money. You know, and so I got to a point where I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'll just call their customer service and tell them what's going on and make them give you your money back because I'm the customer, right? Like you think. Anyway, it didn't come to that. He ended up giving me 3 magazines for the same price. 3 20-round magazines for $215. You do the fucking math. I think that's like 90 bucks a magazine. So I ended up paying a little bit more than what I was prepared to per magazine. But I got 3. So yeah, it was a total fucking bullshit thing. These magazines used to be like $5. You go to a gun show, these things are sitting on the table with that stupid price sticker, that red one that's half peeled off, or maybe it's orange, half peeled off, and it said $5.99 or $4.99 or whatever. Now these things are fucking ruining people's lives and going for $100 a mag. It's crazy. Anyway, so that was my whole experience getting some steel magazines on Gunbroker. Fuck Gunbroker, by the way. Anyhow, magazine that it does come with is this DSA. It's a 20-rounder, plastic. It has this like Magpul clip on top. Oh, let's see if it oh, it doesn't. It's not even wide enough. Shit. I thought this would do what Magpul does. You know the Magpul magazines, you have the clip on top, you can clip it to the bottom, which is kind of cool. But this does not do that. So that sucks. You know what they should do, though? My honest opinion for DSA, I'm not trying to be an asshole at all. It's because I love you guys and I want to see you do better. These magazines, you see the difference between the steel mags and the plastic mags? Well, up front here, like the top one, it bulges out here like bad. And the steel magazine doesn't. And I know that's like an easy, like, hey, let's make this like legit easy construction and whatever. But you guys should really like maybe mill this down. I might even do that. I might take a Dremel and just shrink all this shit. Depending. Well, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it. And if it comes out good, cool. And if I ruin it, whatever. Because I don't like these magazines. I heard they were shit. But I don't know. I have no idea. I heard they were bad. But then I heard they got better. From FAL guy. The FAL guy. He's a YouTube channel. I watch basically all of his videos on the FAL stuff. And I guess he said that these are getting better. Maybe they're tweaking them and they're fixing little bugs that were in them from original production. But I still say, definitely like make this more symmetrical. And I don't like, not symmetrical, but make this more like the steel mag, right? Just flatten this shit out. And I think you got like a decent decent mag. I just think these look stupid, and I think they look stupid because of like how they bulge at the bottom. They like did a Glock magazine sort of a thing with an FAL magazine. Like, fuck, man. It drives me crazy. Like, don't do that. So anyway, if they just like or not only that, but maybe if they had aftermarket plates that were like more flush. Ah, there you go. There you go, DSA. Aftermarket floor plates for magazines that are flush. You don't have to make a shit ton of them just for nitpickers like me. Dude, there you go. You'll make money on it. Do it. I'll buy them. I'll buy one because I'm never going to buy any more of these. I like the steel mags. So, anywho, comes with a 20-round plastic magazine. That magazine has a clip. Fuck, I don't know. I guess I'll just put it back on because it's just going in the garbage, I guess, otherwise. So, let's see how these even go on. So, the hook in the back here on the catch. And then you push down on the front. I guess. That's not on right, guys. That's not on right. Let me get a better... Jesus Christ. Jeepers creepers. There we go. Now we're on. Okay. Now let's talk about the FAL. 12 minutes in and I haven't talked about the FAL? Jesus, guys, what the fuck? Why are you letting me get away with that shit? Alright, so... let's go tip to butt, right? Good old Grand Thumb style. So, we have a, again, this is a metric FAL. It's not a, there's an inch version, and inch versions are just goofy looking, like stupid versions of what an FAL is supposed to be. So, the muzzle brake on this, we have a metric pattern muzzle brake. It's just your standard muzzle brake there. There are threads inside for the blank adapter, so that's cool. They go all the way around, as you can see. Moving forward, this is an 18-inch barrel. I liked the 18-inch better than the 21-inch. I had a oh, what's it called? I had a fucking Christ, I can't even talk. I had an M14 for the longest time, and I thought I would never sell it. But guys, if you've watched my gun collection videos through the last couple of years, Shermanator got sold. He's gone. He's no longer with us. Oh, that was a good M14. But if you're curious about exactly what kind of gun, you can go and watch my video on it. God damn, I missed that one. It was a nice 308. This was a 308. This also is a 308. Fires the same round. But you know what? It's shorter and it's more ergonomic. Yeah. So it was kind of a clear winner over the M14, guys. I'm gonna talk about that later. I'm gonna get into more details. So anyway, moving back on here, we have our sling mount. Man, that's not even the right word. But anyway, this thing does a whole, like, just, it's attached to the barrel, swings all the way around. And right here by my thumb here, we do have the notches so you can mount a bipod. I have no interest in mounting a bipod, but I do, in contrast to the FAL guy, I do like bipod bipod cat. Fuck, I can't even say. I'm trying to say it like he says it. I do like bipod cut handguards. I like those. I like the way it looks. I don't mind the way it feels. I might get non-bipod cut handguards. That's tough to say. Non-bipod cut handguards. I might get those just to like play with the difference and see what the difference might be, but I actually like the way it is here. So whatever. Anyway, foregrips, they're going to stay the same. I'm not changing them. I'm not really changing anything on this rifle. Moving back, we got the charging handle. This is a metric version charging handle. So it is, I think it's plastic, but it feels really solid. Like really freaking solid. Like to the point where maybe, no, this is definitely plastic, but it's like solid. So controls down here, we have this little lever right here. Oops, let me move over a little bit more. So we have this lever right here. That is to release the bolt and to catch the bolt. So if I pull back on the bolt, I know you can't see it, but I'm going to push up on that lever that I just showed you, and I'm going to release the bolt, and it's going to get hung up there. I'm sorry for that angle. I want to do better than that, but I just can't really think of how at the moment. But anyway, and then if you want to release the bolt, you just pull down on that, pull down there. Magazine release is right next to it. So I don't want to say it's easy to confuse these two, but I can see how you can. So magazine release is right here, and the bolt release and the bolt catch is right there. So that's a thing. That's a little, that could be a little, I could see how that could be a little bit confusing to some people. I get that. Moving back, standard trigger. Now the one thing is, I always thought this was weird my entire life. Every time I've ever seen an FAL, probably the biggest reason I never bought one before, this like safety thing back here, just just still bothers me, but it's less of an issue nowadays. I don't know why. My tastes have changed, I guess. But yeah, so anyway, let's see, moving back, trigger, pistol grip. Pistol grip sucks balls, man. There's people who talk about the pistol grip. Oh, I don't mind the diff. I don't mind the angle. I don't mind the angle so much, whatever. And it's like, okay, man, for you, that's cool. If you don't mind the angle, that's fine. But think about it. I'm going to present my case here. This grip angle is like way back. It's like, I don't know what exact angle that is, but that is like swooped way back to where if you're firing it, it's no big deal. Like, it's kind of fine, right? But this kind of angle, when you're letting it hang down, your wrist is so far bent forward, it's like, it just sucks balls, dude. Whereas opposed to like with an AR or an AK where, you know, it's way more of a different pitch, you're not straining your wrist so much when you're like, you know, when you're carrying the rifle, you're not straining your wrist so much. So that's one thing I don't like about that grip angle. I definitely want to change that. Not only just when you're carrying it, but like when you're in prone or you're in any kind of condition, any kind of firing stance basically, except for, you know, your typical standard being square. Like, there's a lot of firing positions that this does not feel comfortable in with the particular angle. So me personally, I'm definitely going to change that out to something a little bit more straight, just because I hate that grip angle. I didn't think it would be a big issue, but it's definitely something that bothers me. So the takedown lever is right here. I can't remember if we push that up. Yeah, we push it up. Push that up, rifle breaks open, similar but not quite to an AR. So we're not going to break it down. There's plenty of videos that do, and this one is going to be going long if I do that. So we're not going to worry about that. But takedown lever is right here, and I like that because that's kind of like an upgrade, because they used to have one that goes straight up here, and some FALs do. The problem with that is basically when in combat when guys would fire rifle grenades, since the lever was like here, somehow the inertia would like crack that open. So you'd fire a rifle grenade and then your rifle would bust open like this. You'd have to close it back up and go back to work. But you know, so that could be a little bit of a hindrance, I can imagine. Moving back, well, up a little bit, we have these sights that came with the rifle. I don't like these sights. I like those. Personally, I'm gonna change these out to, there's another set of sights that are like bird cage. Actually, bird cage. I'm thinking of an AR right now, but what the hell's it called? It's like a peep sight that like an AR would have on it. It has windage adjustment. It has elevation. I think it's got elevation adjustment. I'm not sure. But either way, as long as it has windage, we're golden, because I can control my elevation with the sight, with the front sight. But this one here, all this one does, there's windage, but the adjustment on it is really like it sucks. So there's a screw here, and then there's a screw on the other side. So what you do to move the sight is you, like if you want to move it right, for example, you'll unscrew this screw and then you'll tighten this screw. So it's not like you can't adjust your windage, because you can, but you cannot do it on the fly. That's where Kentucky windage comes in. So you can't really do it much on the fly on here, which isn't that big of a deal, but if you're firing different grains and whatnot, you may be imprinting differently downrange, so you might have to, if you're switching up ammo from this grain to that grain, and soft points to full metal jackets and whatever the fuck else there is out there, you might have to adjust your windage. Now elevation, you can adjust your elevation. There's a button on this side here, and you just press it, move the sight all the way up, all the way down, and so that's pretty much that. And there's a bunch of increments in between. Let's see, rear stock. I'm not crazy about the stock. It is now this rifle is definitely smaller than I thought it would be. I'm used to a full-size M14, especially when it comes to a 308 rifle. So there's that. And hang on, I'm going to take a second and get this extra shit off of here. It's been bugging the hell out of me. And the rifle looks so much better when there's not extra oil just spilling out all over. And I will say, when this came, it came very well oiled up. Extremely. Actually, it came too oiled up. It was sopping wet. Just waiting to explode. Alright. Back down. By the way, guys, thanks for hanging in there. I know my videos a lot of times are very kind of low paced, but that's kind of because we're just chilling, man. I got shit to say and I want to hang out, and that's what we're doing. But yeah, as far as the stock here, it's way longer than I thought it would be. And you know what? It's not that it's just long. It's that it has this fucking rubber pad on the back that is very grippy, extremely grippy. And yeah, I thought I felt something shaking, but we're good. So, but it's very grippy. But because it's so long, like honestly, if this was an AR, I would have it out to there maybe. That's about how long it would be. That's about how long I like it. Especially if I'm wearing a backpack or armor. Like, there's about 3 to 4 inches off of the back that I wish I could just take off. But you can't, because similar to an AR, the recoil buffer, it has a recoil buffer that goes into the stock here, like kind of at a little slant, and that's where all the bolt and everything travel. Not the bolt itself, but there's a tail on the bolt. You know what, if they just got rid of that fucking tail on the end of the oh my god, don't even get me started. Anyway, the stock is very long, and because that's so grippy on the end there, it, like when I go to, you know, manipulate the rifle, I get it like caught. I get it caught in my fucking shoulder all the time accidentally, or maybe on my pec muscle. So if I try and go, like, say from like high ready high ready to like on target, I could very easily snag that fucking rubber shit, you know, on my body, and you know, can't really, it's just cumbersome. It's very cumbersome. So I did talk to them and I asked them, I'm like, hey, I understand because of how the rifle works, there's all this shit, and this buffer goes all the way down to like here, so you cannot shorten it at all. It would be cool if maybe they made that buffer to go out to about here-ish, or maybe even here, right? And stop there so that you could actually adjust the length of pull on the rifle. That's one thing that I would definitely suggest and play around with, and who knows, maybe in 3 years or so we can have a working, you know, a working for sale retail version of that. Probably way sooner, I don't know. But that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. It basically have the same everything, it's just it's shorter. You can maybe adjust the length of pull in between here. Whatever. Something to think about. Aftermarket product, whatever, sell it separately. That'd be cool. But also, I have not broken down into the rear trunnion. I don't even know if the rifle has a trunnion. I'm used to AKs, but I have not opened all this up and saw what all this is and whatnot. I typically do a lot of tinkering with rifles, but I did not do it in this particular case. Now, I'm going to pause this real quick, get something to drink. I'm starting to lose my voice. For you guys, it'll be a millisecond. For me, it'll be a little bit. Okay, so we just got done talking about the stock and all my beautiful ideas and whatnot that's going to be revolutionary for the development of the FAL. Now, I know that there's things you can do. You can put AR stocks on them and whatnot, but that's just not an FAL, man. So, the FAL. Originally, from all of my, what do you call it? So, from all of my FAL research last couple of months, let's talk about the FAL. So originally, I guess it was designed some point after World War II, like kind of in the 50s, so that's cool. And originally, I guess it fired a 280. Now, I don't know what a 280 is, but I guess it's like, come on, bud. This is my buddy Gonzo here. Yeah? Whatever. Featuring Gonzo. So anyway, let's see here. I guess the 280 British was like a 7.43 millimeter round, so that's kind of cool. Except the US was like, I guess because of the whole NATO thing, they're like, oh yeah, you know, the US is all like, we'll join up and everything and partner up, whatever, but that rifle can't shoot that fucking round. It's got to shoot the 308, right? So anyway, everybody changed all the shit to 308, blah 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 blah. And then we went with the M14 anyway, which was kind of funny because, like, oh yeah, no, we'll definitely take the FAL. We'll definitely use the FAL. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. 100%, definitely. But we stuck with the M14. And that brings up a question. If we went into Vietnam with the FAL instead of the M14, would there have been a difference in the outcome of the war? Good question. I don't think there'd be a difference in the outcome of the war because we were fighting an indigenous culture on their own land, and their whole fucking country is honeycombed with like fighting tunnels and all that sort of shit. So, no, we definitely would not have won, but I think we would have killed way more of those guys, and I think we would have saved more of our guys if they had a more ergonomic 308 battle rifle. Because on this, even with this grip, at least you can drive your rifle better. Come on, bud. Come on. People want to see the FAL. They want to see the FAL. So anyway, I think we definitely would have had an outcome in the change of at least casualty ratings, without a doubt. If we had a 308 punching through that vegetation constantly, and you could even cut this rifle down to like a 16-inch barrel. Because that's an 18-inch barrel, 2 inches shorter is 16. 16 would probably, I guess it would stop right here-ish. So whatever. But at the time we were also using like 20-inch ARs too. But yeah, man, people ask, oh, would there have been a difference? Absolutely there would have been a difference if we went in with FALs instead of M14s. having said that, I love the M14. Absolutely love the M14. I know I sold it for this, but I'm not made of money and I had to make a decision. But on the bright side, I bought that M14 for $500 and I sold it for like 17. So, made some money. That was the best firearms investment I've ever made in my life. Now, one day, I will buy another M14. I am tempted, though, to buy an airsoft M14 because it's way cheaper, and you know, I can't say for a fact that I'm going to be shooting it anyway. You know what I mean? Some rifles I buy and they just kind of stay in my closet, locked up. They never go to the range. There's only just a couple of rifles that I actually shoot. Now this one, I can't even guarantee that I'm going to shoot it much. It may just go to the range, get zeroed. I might take it out a couple times a year, but I'm not going to beat it up. But I do love it. I carry it with me every day. Since I've had it for a few days and it's been with me like basically non-stop. As soon as I get home from work, I go grab it, I load the mag, I carry it around my house, you know, just like any normal guy with his FAL. So, yeah, this rifle, one thing I definitely want to say is it's definitely way smaller than you might think it is. When you buy it, you pick it up and you hold it, you're like, holy shit, this is, you know, not so big, which is kind of cool. I remember when I bought my first AK, I remember thinking how small it was when I was holding it, but whatever. FAL, man, I love this thing. So I have a little bit of talking points, but I pretty much covered everything. But yeah, there's another type of FAL out there, guys, and it's called an inch pattern FAL. And I get it, if you're a collector, it's probably cool to get inch patterns because they're just stupid looking and different. But I don't know. I don't like the inch patterns at all. I love this flash hider, or muzzle device we'll call it. I love this gas system, and by the way, this gas system is pretty freaking cool. Basically, you can move these little, what do you even call this, regulator? You can move this regulator around to adjust the amount of gas that's going in. So basically what you should do when you first pick one of these up is go to the range with it, dial the gas all the way off, fire around, open it up one click, and fire around. See if it'll cycle. If it's not cycling, you just want to click that, what do you call it, gas over until it does cycle. And then if it's cycling, you just click it one more over just for good measure. And you should have a decently smooth shooting rifle. At least that's what I have found in all of my research. I've never fired this. I will very soon, though. I'm waiting for those upgrades. I'm waiting for my pistol grip, and I'm waiting for my sight, rear sight. I can't really go and blast off rounds, you know, and just kind of waste my opportunity to zero. So I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. And I have a front sight tool coming in the mail. So pistol grip, rear sight, front sight tool. As soon as I get that, zero the sucker in. But yeah, I love this. Now, one thing I want to talk about real quick is that I heard some guy say, unless you specify with DSA, you're only going to get certain parts. And I did not specify my rear sight, and I did not specify my bolt, but it does not have the sand cuts. You see how it doesn't have the sand cuts? I thought that was standard, man. When I picked this rifle up, I was so disappointed that it did not have the sand cuts in the bolt here. And for those of you who don't know, it's like zigzaggy things that basically work sand out of the action. Ugh. Now, you don't necessarily need those, but as far as making the rifle look as authentic as it can, that's something that counts for me, because I'm going to be changing the pistol grip. It's going to be a different pistol grip. It's not going to be an original, you know, so as far as that OG look, I'm suffering there because that's going. So I would like to have had these sand cuts in here, which you could buy another barrel, I'm sorry, another bolt carrier group, BCG. You can buy another one of them with sand cuts in it, throw it in, and you're fine. So that's something I have to do, but I went and I looked online, and DSA does not have any in stock currently, so I'm going to be waiting for that. And maybe that's why it came this way, but man, I just thought they should just not make these kind of bolts at all. You know, I feel like maybe they do that because some people don't notice, and that the people that do notice will come back and buy one of those sand cut bolts. So it's like, hey, we could potentially make money, you know, make some more money. Everything comes down to money. Yo, my cat. My cat is super curious about this this rifle. Jeez, he never bothers me. He always, you know what it is though? I was watching Misha the other day, and he was with me while I was watching Misha, and I think he just got some wild ideas from those cats. It's probably what's going on. Whoa! And if you don't know about Misha Co., go over there, check it out, and subscribe. It's a very, very, very nice channel, especially if you're interested in long conversations about firearms. Alright, so I think I covered everything about this rifle that I wanted to cover. I don't have a script, so of course I jumped all over. I may have forgot some things, but I'm not sure. So tip to butt, we went down, we talked about basically all of this. We missed that, we came back, we talked about the gas regulator. It does have a piston inside. There's videos out there. I don't really care to go over that. It's not hard. There's just... I'll cover what you need to know. There's this little lever right here. You push that in and you can twist it. Bam. That's all you need to know. Let's see here. We talked about... Jesus Christ. If you could see my cat right now, I don't know what the hell's gotten into him, but he's in adventure mode today. He just fell off of my window. On the inside, not on the outside, on the inside. He went up, fell off 2 feet, hit the floor. Alright, so now we covered all this shit, we covered all that. Yeah, man, basically talked about everything. The only thing we haven't seen yet, oh, you know what? Let's see how these magazines fit inside of the FAL, huh? Let me try that. Let me check the FAL. It's a snug fit. Not bad. I'm sure they could break in nice and easy. But, I mean, alright, so quick test here. Which magazine looks nicer inside the FAL? This one? Or that one? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Yo, of course the steel magazine looks the best inside of the FAL. Hell yeah. I had to pause for a second to go and grab one of these mags here. Let's see. Well, anyway, my gun broker experience has allowed me to purchase a bunch of these magazines, since we're talking about mags, but I also got myself a 30 round FAL magazine. 30 rounds of 308. Holy fuck. Alright, yeah, bro. And you know what? One more reason that I don't like. That just looks goofy, doesn't it? I think that looks goofy. It's just too long. But I mean, if I wanted to throw 30 rounds, bam. But yeah, that's more novelty, in my opinion. At the moment, anyway. Kind of depends, you know. Kind of depends what's going on. But one thing I will say, guys, is this grip angle. Another thing I hate about it, I just remembered, is that when I'm holding it, it forces my hand to go a certain way, which kind of brings my finger down a little further. Like I'm used to, kind of my muscle memory, I'm used to at a certain grip angle to have my finger at a certain elevation off the trigger. See, if this was a straighter grip angle, my muscle memory would kind of bring me up here. But since it's angled that way, it brings my finger down. And I find myself constantly, like almost putting my finger on the trigger. Like very commonly I'll feel my finger like come in, and maybe I'll touch the side of it, and I'm like, God damn it. You know, like me, I never have my finger on the trigger. Ever. Unless I'm about to fire off a round, I don't fuck with the trigger. I learned the hard way about something before. So anyway, finger never on the fucking trigger. And this grip angle makes my finger go towards the trigger, and I fucking hate that. So that's another reason I want to change this out. But yeah, 30 round magazine, guys. Cool thing about the rifle, 308. Super heavy hitting rifle, right? Or rifle round, I should say. Now, werewolves. Here's where the video gets crazy, guys. Werewolves. They don't like silver, right? It's kind of cool. I don't think these are actually silver. I think they're probably nickel plated. These are like Tula rounds that I've just had sitting around for years and years. But I'm like, yo, it's kind of cool because, you know, it's a heavy hitting round, a very penetration capable round. So like, yo, this is my werewolf gun. Bam, look at that. Got those rounds. I'm kind of using my imagination here and just being a little funny. But I'm like, that's kind of cool, man. Oh, and vampires. People seem to not know that with vampires, they can't touch silver. So there's something about silver that fucks with vampires. So if you shot a vampire full of fucking silver, I think that'll probably have a negative effect on it, right? Like, so I was thinking about that. Now the whole silver thing comes from, like, when I was a kid, I swear I saw a vampire pick up like a silver cross or something, or a silver star. I don't know if it was maybe a badge. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it like burnt his hand. Whatever it was burnt its hand. And I was like, oh, dude, that's awesome. The whole fucking silver thing. So vampires and werewolves, man. Bam, look at that. Oh, that's awesome. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, man, that's about it. I can't really think of anything else that I want to say about this DSA58. I think it's a 58. I still don't know what the fuck. But yeah, this is my baby. This is, oh, I love it. I sold my M14 for this one, so I got to make it count for something, right? I missed that M14, but I do think that if we adopted this rifle instead of the M14, and I get it, it looked like the M1 Garand. We were sentimental towards it. I understand, but just the ergonomics of this over the M14 is much better. The recoil, you can dial it in a lot better. You could have less gas, more gas from that gas regulator I showed you. You could have it shooting pretty decent, you know, pretty soft, quick follow-ups, you know. I just think that, yeah, man, if we went into NOM with these, oh my god. Yeah, man, I don't know if the M16 would have been a thing. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, I think we fucked up with the M14. I love the M14. I think it's a beautiful rifle. I want to buy one again. But I do think the FAL is slightly better in a couple of different ways. So that's why I kind of, as far as I see it, guys, I think I upgraded from an M14 to an FAL. Same caliber. Just about as accurate. I know when these first came out, they were shooting like 4 to 6 inches, and in the years past there's been developments and of technology and whatnot, and still you're talking an MOA of 4 to 6 inches. That's probably more accurate than I can be as a person. Maybe. Kind of depends if I'm standing, laying down, crouched, whatever. But these have just gotten more accurate than they were originally. And I know they had like a weird reputation for accuracy, but some of these, no bullshit, are printing like 1.5 inches, like 1.5 MOA. So that's definitely more accurate than I can be as a person. So that's fucking golden for me. Fine by me, bruh. I love this rifle. I'm glad I got to show you guys this rifle. I'm glad you hung in there. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go I guess wipe all the extra grease and oil that I forgot that keeps coming out of this thing. This thing like fucking bleeds oil, I swear. Sweats oil constantly. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up. Play with this from now on until I can get to the range with it. And once those parts come in, the pistol grip, rear sights, I think that's it. That's all I'm changing on this thing. I just want a better grip angle, and I want more precise rear sights. And that's it. I'm not changing anything else. I I just wish this could be a little shorter. Now I know that you could do like a shorted, you could shorten the stock on like a para model, but I just don't know if I want to go that route. The thing that I don't like about the para version is that its stock comes down to like here, and it just doesn't look right. Like I love it if it was flush, but it just doesn't look quite right. That hangs me up, especially when I'm not 100% definitely going to change this over to the para model. Maybe one day, but I don't have any plans to do so. I love this rifle. I'm glad you guys got to see it. Thank you, DS Arms, for making it for me. And originally it was supposed to take 4 months, but it got done in like 1 month, so that's cool. I just wish I had those sand cuts. That's about it. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Stay safe out there. Stay smart. Talk to you all next time. Blue Line Patriot, signing.
Thanks for watching, guys. Before you go, I want to let you know about my store. The link is in the description below. If you like tactical, anti-woke stuff, this is the place for you. I have lots of t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, and other stuff that make for great gifts, underclothes, gear, and loud and proud statements. Look cool or just troll the snowflakes with Blue Line Patriot apparel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to stay up to date with my content. But above all, stay safe, stay smart. Blue Line Patriot, out.